There, I've locked it on your face. That's what I just said to Kathryn. There, I've locked it on your face. It is the Frank and Friends show. I am Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
Should I edit that part out? Maybe I should edit that part out.
I like it. Yeah,
I was trying to set the camera, and I thought
on my face.
I thought I had it because it keeps wanting to focus on the beautiful marigold, which I can tell you all about.
Yes.
But instead, I've locked the focus on your face. So as long as you don't move.
Okay, I will try not to move this entire episode.
Thank you so much for watching, sharing, liking, and subscribing, especially on YouTube, as we inch ever closer to the unattainable goal, to dream the impossible dream.
Are we almost there?
I thought I knew the next line of the song. This is like opera singers do this song. You know, from Randall Lange?
Yeah. Of course. To dream the impossible dream.
To dream the impossible dream.
To fight
the impossible foe.
The unbeatable foe. Yeah.
Unbeatable foe, okay. Yeah. Something, da-da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, my dad used to listen to that record all the time.
Nice.
So we're here, and we're on the YouTube, and I got a new subscriber from Crippled Beagle Publishing.
Okay.
And I want to say thank you, Jody, for subscribing, because she threatened to watch an episode, and now this is a test
to see if she actually watches.
You actually did.
Nice.
Because she was talking to this veterinarian named Dr. Randall Lange, who has a dog named Josh, and he writes children's books about Josh. And I met apparently I met Josh 1. He's up to Josh 4.
Okay.
But years ago, he would come to Children's Hospital when we were doing radiothons and telethons and various things. Anyway, he's looking to do some publicity for his children's books, and he told her to look me up. So Jody found the Frank and Friends show, and I guess at some point we'll have a dog over there.
That'd be great, Josh the dog.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that it's Josh 4 because the LSU Tigers have an actual tiger on campus.
Oh.
And I went to actually see the tiger this summer, but they're on like number 11. It's Mike, number 11,
Does the tiger come out on the field?
It does. They bring him on the field during the game.
In a cage, or does he get to walk out there?
Just in a cage.
I bet in the olden days they just walked him out on a leash.
It's possible.
Well, the Detroit Lions, I read recently, wanted to bring a live lion on the field because that was the thing in the old days. I mean, I remember we did a photo shoot with Mark and Brian one time because they kind of looked like Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, let's get some live tigers to spice up this photo shoot.
Yeah, sure, why not?
It was the 90s.
Nothing can go wrong. It's the 90s.
So Pam Baker calls some animal tiger rescue joint up in Valencia, California. The van shows up, 2 tigers get out. I mean, there were people too.
Like on the just like on a leash?
Yeah. Now then the photographer, the ABC photographer, we're at the ABC headquarters, not headquarters, but their Los Angeles headquarters in Century City, and they have a photo studio for all the sitcom stars to come in and do their poses.
Sure.
So we have Mark and Brian over there, and they bring in the tigers, and the photographer's like, I says, and we didn't understand really the concept of Photoshop the way he did back in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
He says, let me take a picture of the tigers. So we brought the tigers in, they sat there, they posed, they got their pictures made, and then they were brought outside. So I'm hanging outside with the tigers, far enough away that their chain, they can't reach me because they're on a chain, they're tied to a tree. And Mark and Brian go in and they pose where the tigers had been.
Gotcha. Like on the sides, it's like the tigers would be in the middle?
Well, one of them made it look like he was straddling the tiger.
Gotcha.
And the other made it look like he had a chair or a whip or something and was taming the tiger.
Gotcha.
And I probably could.
And then they just like photoshopped it? You probably still have it?
Well, I researched all this for my book that I'm eventually going to write, that I'm keep threatening to write. But I've written this chapter already, which is why it all comes to mind so easily. The tiger chapter has already been written. But let's see if I can show you. Maybe I can even put it on the screen.
That'd be great.
If I can find the foot was on the cover of a magazine called Los Angeles Radio Guide. Here it is.
There they are.
So that I was there. Now the background was like a green screen, so you can't really tell.
You can't really tell.
I mean, for 1997, yeah, that's pretty good Photoshop for 1997.
It is pretty good. I mean, 1997. It does look like 1997.
Well. So there you go. Oh, and then the next picture, when I search for tiger, the next picture is the Clemson Tiger mascot.
Okay.
Which was, this is a long jag. I don't know how we got on this. Well, I'm interested. This is the Clemson Tiger mascot, and we are at a wedding at Cherokee Country Club here in Knoxville.
Nice.
Apparently you can
That one's not as scary.
You can rent the Clemson Tiger.
Okay.
I imagine you could probably rent Smokey the dog.
Now, do they bring
UT.
a real dog out? I don't even know.
At UT?
At UT.
Well,
Do
they have two.
Smokey?
They have a costumed dog named Smokey, who looks like a cartoon character, very lovable. And they also have a real blue tick coonhound, I think is what they're called.
Okay.
Named Smokey, and they're up to like probably well past
11.
I think they're in the teens maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've had. I mean, how long do dogs live? Which gets back to Dr. Lange, and I'm saying, well, doctor, I know you're a good vet, but seriously, how long can you keep these dogs alive? Which is the answer. He's up to number 4.
Up to number 4.
Hey.
You know, I mean, it depends on how long. Different breeds have different lengths of lives, you know.
Yeah.
7 to 10 years, maybe?
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, Batman's Robin, TV's Burt Ward, sells dog food that keeps larger dogs alive longer, or so he claims. And he's got a lot of big, like very big dogs that are supposed to be dead, but they're still alive because he's kept them alive, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just with this dog food.
His
But it's only for big dogs, like little dogs.
He's got big different mixes, but that's where I got started. He had these massive dogs and somehow got involved in this dog food that has some
magic.
Whatever it does. I think it basically doesn't have all the garbage that normal
dog food does
has.
have.
I think it was more a matter of what they took out rather than what they put in.
Yeah. We put in real ingredients, and now your dogs can live longer.
It just occurred to me, Kathryn, that I'm in Knoxville.
You are in Knoxville.
And
I'm here too.
So are you.
Imagine that.
Tell us about you, Kathryn. Tell us about you.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to rush this episode out so that it comes out on Friday the
18th.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Friday the 18th, which means that the next day, Saturday the 19th, you will be singing to me.
That's right. I'll be singing in a cave. We're going to be back at Cherokee Caverns with Marble City Opera. And
when I am dead, I would like this to be known as the Frank Murphy Memorial Stalactites, Sopranos, and Stilettos concert.
Okay. That's
because
a deal.
it was my idea.
That's a deal.
That's all I care about.
That's
it's getting credit for my idea.
Your idea was to have it in the cave. Yes, indeed. Stalactites, Sopranos, and Stilettos. Although one of our Sopranos this year is refusing to wear stilettos.
Oh, well, she's probably a mezzo anyway.
Wow.
I mean, she's over too. It occurs to me I don't know which one we're talking about, so I better hush my mouth.
She does often sing mezzo roles that I give her, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But she's technically a soprano.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, what's she going to wear?
I don't know yet. We're thinking that she should maybe just like go full on combat boot, just to be the opposite, you know?
Well, it's going to be dry the week leading up to the cave concert, so it won't be too goopy down there.
Which is good.
If after a rain, the ceiling drips because that's how the stalactites are formed. The rain drips down and the minerals drip down, and the stalactites are formed, and the stalagmites coming up from the bottom as well. But so I was good. Rubber boots are appropriate in the cave at certain times. But I guess she'll be all right.
She'll be all right. I'm thinking about putting down like a rug this time.
That's a good idea.
Like on the ground where
It'll
we're
get
standing.
dirty. I mean, because it's on dirt.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But I have like an old,
All right. Theater rug.
Yes, a theater rug.
Okay.
Which I think I might use.
How about if you got her, I've seen women at Walmart wearing this, where they have a tank top or a t-shirt of some kind that has like
the shoe on it?
A picture of a picture of a stiletto made out of beads, or
that could work.
Bedazzled.
There
That's
you
the
go.
word.
A bedazzled stiletto.
What do you think?
I'm also thinking of bringing in a cube where we just like put like some stilettos.
Oh, on display.
On display.
That way, technically, they're there.
Exactly.
Genius.
Yeah, just making
well
sure.
Done.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd also like next year when we do this.
Because if any of your foot fetish fans show up, you don't want to disappoint them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But next year when we do it, I don't think I can pull it off for this Saturday, but I want to have cubes all the way along the pathway down into the cave.
Yes.
Displaying different stilettos. And also
That's a lot of shoes. You need a shoe sponsor for that.
I know. Well, I was thinking we could turn it into a fundraiser.
Good idea.
Do a silent auction for buy your stilettos.
Idea. That's a very good idea.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that sounds like a radio promotion too, because we used to do pick your purse or something like that.
Yeah.
Where the women would all win a chance, and they'd show up, and there'd be all these Coach purses, and then based on what number they drew, they could pick one. And if you had a low number, you could pick whichever one your first choice. But if you had a high number, you might get your second or third choice.
Sure.
But still,
a
great fundraiser. You could, in your case, you buy a raffle ticket and get a number to pick a shoe.
Yeah, I think that could be
Oh,
fun.
that's good, Kathryn.
Thanks.
That's
You know.
fantastic.
Although I guess we have to have like different sizes, you know.
No, you just display the shoes and you give them a gift card.
Gotcha.
And then they have to go to the store, which then the people at the store will upsell them into buying
More.
whatever goes with stilettos. You know, insoles, foamy pads.
Oh my gosh, have you seen those? The latest shoe that has the heel, it's got the stiletto, but then it folds down into a flat. Have you seen these?
Why would I? No, I don't shop for women's shoes.
You don't?
No.
You don't? Okay, well, I didn't know what you do on the weekends.
No, see, I'll admit, your idea. All right, when I'm dead and you want to name it, you can say this is the Frank Murphy Memorial Stalactites and Sopranos concert stilettos idea from Kathryn Frady. Because I will admit, I did not come up with the stilettos idea. It was genius. But I just said, hey, Kathryn, it sounds good in the cave. You should sing there. That was the extent of my contribution.
Yeah, no, it's great.
All
I'm
right.
excited about it.
What are you going to sing?
I'm going to be singing Trees on the Mountain.
Don't know that one.
Yes, you do. It's from Susanna.
Oh,
Susanna's second aria.
I heard that one when I went to see your show, Susanna, at Marble Springs.
That's right. And I'm going to be singing something from Sor Angelica, and I'm going to be singing...
Something is from West Side Story, I think.
Something is from West Side Story, perhaps?
No, wait. What is the song Something?
I don't know.
Oh, all right, never mind.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead. So there's something from Sor Angelica.
Something from Sor Angelica. There's music from like Puccini and Verdi and Mozart.
These are the good ones.
All of the good ones.
All the ones I like.
All of the ones that you like.
Great.
It's in your honor, obviously.
So none of that atonal stuff.
So there's no atonal music. It's just music that Frank Murphy would like. That's how we're going to
Can you explain to me why I'm getting postcards from the opera conference in Los Angeles? I'm not going to the opera conference in Los Angeles next June.
They have an opportunity for trustees to...
I'm not a trustee.
Yeah, you are.
No, what?
You're a board member for Marble City Opera. That makes you
me a trustee?
an opera trustee. You're very fancy.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. They steal all of our contact information for our board members.
Well, that's clearly what's happened here.
And then you get postcards and mailings from them.
Well, there's a mole. You got a mole on the inside who's telling these people my address.
I would never do it. Well, at least this time it's to Frank Murphy.
Yeah.
And not that other name.
Oh, yeah, it's my wife. Don't want her to get the mail. She doesn't want to go to the opera conference. She only sings. Well, I got another postcard in the mail while we're on the topic. And this one is from the Children's Museum of Oak Ridge.
Nice.
And they are having their big gala in November 17th. But what I'm excited about is that all the times that I've asked and begged, people want me to MC stuff. And I'm like, well, you're going to pay me? And they'll say no. And I'll say, okay, well then either I'm not doing it because I need the money,
right.
Or if it's something like the Children's Museum, I'm kind of a soft spot for that.
Sure.
So I said, well, could you give me some free tickets so I can take the grandkids? They're like, of course you can have a pair of tickets, fall tickets. How many do you want? And then I said, I need you to put the Frank and Friends logo on the postcard or on everything. And there it is. It's right on there.
That's awesome.
So that made me very happy when I got this in the mail, same day as I got the opera postcard.
Do you think that if I got Opera America to put the Frank and Friends logo on here, that you would enjoy this more?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Which makes me wonder. I've noticed that my logo is still on the Marble City Opera mailers and email blasts and things like that. And I thought about not telling you because I thought if it was there by mistake, then I shouldn't say anything because I'm happy that it's there. Or I should ask you about it because clearly I'm being set up for something down the road.
You're always being set up for something down the road. How did you learn that? By hanging out with me.
What am I being set up for, Kathryn?
You're just like a current sponsor, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about...
Oh, we donated to the silent auction.
That's right.
I emceed the thing.
Exactly.
Which is similar to what this is. It really is the same deal as this, except this is on paper and yours is on email blast.
We're talking about the Cave concert now. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about it. Well, I have one more musical thing. I want to hear about your fabulous trips to New Orleans and Cancun and everywhere else you've been. But there's one other thing that on the musical note that I'd like to bring up is I got a call. You know, we have a special phone number for the Frank and Friends show.
Sure.
A Google phone, but it comes through. And the message, the voicemail, is from this lady who says something to the effect of, I noticed that we've already paid you for your upcoming performance.
Uh-oh.
I thought, well, that seems
That's
odd.
odd,
I don't
yeah.
normally. Hi,
we-
this is Susan. I'm the new activity director at such and such retirement
okay.
home.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I'm showing that you have already been paid for an August performance, but I don't have the receipt or whatever the bill. Oh, I don't have the date. I was wondering if you can call me back and blah, blah, blah. Tell me when you're planning on being here. So I'm excited because I'm thinking, oh, I've got a gig at an old folks home that I didn't even know about.
Is this for me?
You would think, right?
Well, because I've also sung there.
Well, that's confusing.
That is confusing.
And then I thought, well, maybe they want me to get Einstein Simplified rounded up. We can go over and do comedy improv for the old
fun.
folks because our friends in Asheville, Mondi and Karen, they've done TED Med talks about the using improv, the rules of improv for Alzheimer's caregivers. You know, you accept it in advance, you don't deny, you do all the things.
Yeah.
So I called Lee, I'm all excited. I'm like, how much am I getting paid? Well, first of all, wait, I didn't get paid. How did I miss out on this?
They have a cute little space too.
And so we're talking, and I'm going through, well, are you here, do you want to hear my forensic anthropology lecture on cremation? She said, no, probably not at the old folks home. I said, okay. Maybe you wanted me to come and speak about broadcasting? No. Comedy improv. Would you like, is that what you're interested in? She's like, no, I'm trying to reach Frank and Friends. The old guy and his wife, they're singers, and they go around to the entertainment, doing the entertainment at the retirement homes. What are you talking about? So I look it up, and sure enough,
no.
yeah.
There's another Frank and Friends?
There's an old guy. He doesn't have a Facebook page or anything, I don't think.
No.
But I found him on there. I don't know, I'll have to put it on the screen. But I found him on Facebook for an event. One of the other old folks' homes had an event listing that said, thanks so much to Frank and Friends. There's an old guy and his wife, and one's singing and one's playing the piano. But I thought, if only I could sing, and if only I could play the piano, Frady and I could go and make money. So now, basically...
Are you going to learn to play?
You don't. What I'm saying is you've already done it. I didn't know that.
That's amazing. You could have said, well, Kathryn, Frady and I can come, and
We'll be
we
right
can do
over.
like a comedy singing duo, Who knows?
Oh yeah, I don't.
No.
I would love to do that if I could have any. I can't even imagine. Like I can picture myself in a lot of scenarios. I can picture myself up in front of a crowd with no script and a microphone, and I got to get us through the next, 15 minutes, whatever I have to do. I can picture myself doing that, but I can't picture myself as any kind of entertainment that involves music.
Interesting.
That's where I can't.
You can't weave between the songs.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
I think that's all you would need, right? Like just kind of be the MC, the DJ. Yeah, exactly.
And you would what? Sing to karaoke, or do we have to bring in a third guy to play?
We'd probably have to bring in a third person.
Okay, well, it's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but I think their name does need to start with an F.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Okay, just to make it.
It's Frady, Frank, and Fred. Freddie, Frank, and Fred.
Exactly. That's perfect.
All right, another side note. Aretha Frankenstein's is coming to South Knoxville. Did you hear?
I did not.
Okay, well, it's a big thing in Chattanooga. It's pancakes and waffles, and I might have to go.
That sounds
all right, speaking of selling things, let's talk quickly about our friends at bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. They are known for appearing down in Cherokee Caverns, where it's nice and cool. So the short sleeve shirt might be appropriate for a hot summer day, but if you're down in the cave, or if you're ready for pumpkin spice season, then the long sleeve tee might be more appropriate.
Yeah, because isn't it 50 degrees in the cave?
58.
58.
I noticed you've shaved a few degrees off for all your publicity. So get those hot flash ladies to get, but it's actually 58 down there.
58. I'll have to change that.
That's all right. Or you've got the hat and the books.
The hat, which I actually quite like, and the books.
Ah, very nice.
Carved in bone.
And Death's Acre and the side skulls. And there's a new thing they've got coming up. In fact, I should give a plug to the date. Pardon me for keep going to my phone. I meant to take some voluminous notes before the program, but I failed. Ron Ledbetter, who is the former general counsel at UT, has written a voluminous tome. And by that I mean a voluminous tome. It's a big book. It's, let's see, how many pages
is this? A textbook?
No, it's his life story, 475 pages. and big,
is,
and the
yeah.
print is not. It's not. I mean, it's not like it's a
No, it's
small print. I mean, big print, small print. It's medium. It's like readable,
medium.
but
Yeah.
but it's a large book, and he's going to be at the Parrotwood Memorial Library on August 21st at 4 p.m. and that is in, I think, Strawberry Plains, if I'm not mistaken. On AJ Highway in Straw Plains. So you can meet Ron on whatever I said, Monday, August 21st, 4 p.m. until 5:30, and learn all about his fascinating life. He just got back from another trip somewhere on the other side of the world.
That sounds amazing.
So he's always got stuff to talk about.
And the good news is you don't have to read this before you show up.
No, I think you're supposed to go there and buy a copy from him and then read it. So I don't know what happened, but as I was flipping by, I saw the name Boutros Ghali. So it tells you
a little bit about what's to come.
A little bit in there. So go to bonezones.com. Don't forget the S, and you can get autographed copies of those, of Sam Venable's books, of some Bill Landry books, and of course Dr. Bass's books. He will turn 95 on August 30th.
Oh, that's amazing.
And just today I got a Facebook message saying, by any chance, could you come up to Bristol and give a lecture for free? I'm like, no, he's retired.
Right.
But call Susan at Bone Zones and see if she can find another forensic anthropologist.
And
or
is
someone
he still
else.
signing?
He still signs. They go over to his house like every 2 weeks maybe with merchandise so he can autograph it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. Okay. Well, we're excited at the Cave concert.
We are.
We're excited that you're back in town.
Yes.
We're excited that you went to another country.
I did. I went to Mexico. So it's been a crazy whirlwind of a summer, and I've been in New Orleans and Dallas and Baton Rouge, and we went to Cancun for 5 days, and it was great.
Yeah? Well, what'd you do?
Nothing. It was great.
Well, you did something.
No, literally, I just sat on the beach.
You took pictures.
Listening to the waves. I did go swimming. James did some body surfing.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
In the water?
Yeah. Yeah. I read 3 books. Ate some food.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's about it. No, it's just like nothing.
Oh, wow. An actual vacation.
An actual vacation.
When's the last time you had an actual vacation? Because you travel a lot, but you're always working while you do it.
The last time I had an actual vacation was December 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you were able to unplug and turn off and...
Turned off all of the internet, all of the phones, just, unplugged completely.
Now,
and I read 3 books and sat on the beach. And
I don't think
ate
I've
good food.
ever done that. I don't think I've ever really, truly done that. Because even on, vacations, even in the pre-internet days, I would buy newspapers and scour through them looking for potential things to bring back to the radio show or other events. But even when I'm on vacation, or my wife will tell me, when her sister and her husband come, why don't you research a bunch of things going on around town on Labor Day weekend so that we can plan an itinerary for them?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. Well, what did you miss when you came back from being off the grid? Was it worth it? Or do you think, I probably should have checked email twice?
Well, that's a great question. I do think that in the future, I kind of want to take the vacation at the end of a month. That way I can come back and it's the beginning of the month and I can catch up with everything. But yeah, definitely a lot of work to catch up, but it's totally worth it. On the last night, we saw sea turtles.
Oh, wow.
Which was really cool because I guess that's nesting season between May and October.
Yeah.
And we're just like sitting out on one of those little lawn chairs and they close off the sand at that time of night. And it's like 10 o'clock. And
the turtles all are checking their watches so they can
go. That's right. The turtles check their watches. Yeah. The moon is out. They're attracted to the light.
Oh.
And they come out of the ocean up to the sand, lay their eggs, and go back.
And they hatch next year?
I don't know when they hatch, to be honest. I need to look that up. I was very concerned because I was like, well, that's where we're sitting, though, like during the day.
Yeah.
It's like where these sea turtles came up.
But the eggs are buried.
Nest.
So the turtle doesn't care. That's why they buried the eggs. They didn't leave them out for you to crush. They put them on, they buried them, right?
I mean, I don't know. They weren't there.
Well,
long.
I've seen PBS. They dig a hole with their back fins, and they put the eggs down there, and then they cover the hole up, and they go back for another, back in the ocean.
They weren't on what was concerning to me is that they weren't up there very long.
How long does it take to lay an egg?
I don't know.
I mean,
I've never personally laid an egg.
She's only gotten great reviews. Never a pan. Here's what I'm imagining, is the turtle doesn't go, up to the land and think, oh, I got to start thinking about laying an egg. I think the turtle probably is like doing
Ready to go.
Yeah, it's like when you're going to Buc-ee's. It's like you're holding it. You're waiting because you could go to any bathroom.
But the bathrooms are the best about it.
But if I can just hold it till I get to Buc-ee's, and then so the turtle is just like,
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's bursting at the seams, ready to get the eggs out and go back in the ocean.
Well, that's what they did.
Because also I imagine
it's very
that
fast.
Turtles are somehow aware that they are in a vulnerable position.
Sure.
I don't know what eats turtles, but
I don't know. They were very large, though. It was really cool. I mean, it was really neat to see them come out of the ocean and up onto the land.
Do they come out forward or
forward?
And then turn around.
And then turn around and go back.
And to lay their eggs while facing the ocean.
Yep.
And then back in they go.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was fantastic. So on your travels, how many Buc-ee's did you visit on your way to New Orleans and Dallas?
Well, there's only really one good Buc-ee's on the way from here to Baton Rouge, and it's in Leeds. Leeds, Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you go there?
Every single time. Absolutely.
Now, we drove up to, since I've last seen you, we've driven up to, my wife went a couple of times up to the D.C. area, and I've only been up and back once. But both ways, we stopped at the new Buc-ee's in Sevierville, which is currently the world's largest Buc-ee's. And one time we were there early enough in the morning that we had the breakfast burrito.
Was it good?
Oh my gosh, Kathryn, it's just a tortilla and their brisket and scrambled eggs, period, the end.
Sounds good.
And you don't need anything else. You just eat it and you're like, oh, this
sounds good. I normally get the barbecue, the pulled pork sandwich.
Yeah?
Yeah. And also all of like the popcorn and the ices, the Dr. Pepper icy. I always have to have a Dr. Pepper.
I like it when they start screaming, sliced brisket on the board, Well, you also posted something about the Dr. Pepper ice cream.
Oh, yes.
Did you like it?
Oh my goodness, it is the best thing I've ever eaten.
Because I'm having this weird sense of deja vu because
so
my friend Becca James, who often comes to do podcasts while you're out of town, is from Houston, and you're from Dallas-ish.
Yep.
So now I've got this Texas stuff mixed in my head because I'm thinking, wait, didn't I already talk to her about the Dr. Pepper ice cream, or did I wait to save that for Frady?
It's Dr. Pepper float ice cream.
I bought some for Artie while he was here. Oh, it was great.
It's so good.
And then later that week, we made our own ice cream using dry ice.
Okay.
But when you add in the dry ice, it gives it this sensation, which is carbon dioxide, that it makes it like a float. It adds the carbonic acid.
Oh, nice.
So you can take vanilla ice cream, make vanilla ice cream with dry ice, and as you're eating it, it feels like you're eating an ice cream float, or it tastes like you're eating an ice cream float, even though there's no actual soda. It's interesting.
That is interesting, but it makes sense.
Yeah, so that'd be a fun thing to try sometime. Was maybe mix in some carbon dioxide into the Dr. Pepper flavored ice cream from Bluebell.
Sounds like fun.
I think I would do that.
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, we should do it.
So what did you do in New Orleans then?
New Orleans, we were visiting James's parents. We went to eat. We also saw a friend of ours from the New Orleans Opera.
Look, I'd say a good 20% of our audience lives in New Orleans. That's you. I'm talking about my friend Bean. So you could be a little more specific about where did you go to eat.
Oh my goodness, well, I don't really remember. I mean, one of my favorite places to eat.
How did you not remember?
Oh my gosh, it's been a busy summer. Gris is one of my favorite places to eat. They have swordfish, which is really, really good, and it's kind of unique.
That used to be my favorite fish when I was a kid.
Was it?
And then they stopped, and then they banned it. I did, and I think it's back now. You can buy it again.
I don't know. It's the only place
Obviously
I've ever had it. Yeah.
Oh, was it delicious?
But it's delicious.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm trying to think where we went. I mean, Mr. John's is one of our favorite places.
Nice.
I don't even remember where we went to eat.
So you had a lot of Sazeracs, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, Sazeracs every single time. The best Sazerac is actually, we had a really, really good one at this little place that we were not expecting to have a good one in Baton Rouge at the city. Not at the City Club. Yeah, they're all good. They all run together. Yeah. All the Sazeracs run together.
Well, it sounds like you got a drinking problem, but I'll let that go.
It does sound that way.
I'm worried that my wife has a different kind of drinking problem. She got an email from Starbucks congratulating her for being in the top 1% of Frappuccino drinkers.
Nice.
And I thought, that's bogus. How can that be? And they sent her a coupon for a free Frappuccino.
Okay.
So she goes and cashes it in. and they tell her how many. I guess they send her an email or something after that, telling her how many frappuccinos she's bought in the past year.
Oh my gosh.
So needless to say, it's having the opposite effect. Instead of encouraging her to now buy more frappuccinos, she says, "That's it. I've got to switch.
I've got to stop.
I've got to." Yeah. Apparently, she goes to Starbucks more than she thought.
That's amazing.
And we're doing the math, and she's like, "This can't be a right number. This doesn't make sense. This would be like she's going twice a week, and it doesn't add up because she gets tea and she gets other things. You know, she doesn't always get a frappuccino."
Yeah. Well, does she have points, like Starbucks points? And she's when you earn those points, I think that you get some for free. So maybe
they do. You do.
Yeah.
I mean, believe me, we game the system. We go and we purchase the gift cards at Kroger to get gas points.
Right.
Then we load them onto the Starbucks app and only pay with those so that we get points on that, and then we cash in the free ones. Now, I currently have like 30 or 40 points because I cash them in relatively quickly. As soon as I get enough 200 points, boom, I'm cashing it in. Jerry's sister, when we walk into her Starbucks up in Virginia, first of all, it's like Norm walking into Cheers. "Hi, Peggy," the whole place. And then she says, "I'm going to use points to buy for everybody in the family," because she's got thousands of points. And so she can afford to blow 1,000 points in one transaction on the 5 of us.
That's awesome.
And then
that's awesome.
But then she still pays for her own tea so that she can get more points for the next time.
That's my point system with Chick-Fil-A.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I collect so many points, but I always forget to use them. And so then
do they email you free things? That they do to Jerry all the time.
I get so many free things, yeah.
Yeah.
But at Chick-fil-A that you should never order if you go through the drive-thru and you're in a hurry, do not order the chicken strips. They take 10 to 15 minutes to cook, apparently, and nobody orders them. So they always send you, how you have that line and they're like, "Oh, well, your food's not ready, so you have to go sit over here and wait for it." Have you ever been in that experience?
I have to admit that Chick-fil-A doesn't call to me the way burgers and other restaurants do. But Jerry goes regularly. And in fact, one of the Chick-fil-A franchisees is a donor to the school where she works. So twice a month, they bring Chick-fil-A for the whole school.
Nice.
So it's amazing. So she knows a little bit ins and outs. And
nice.
She was telling me how they just redid the drive-through of the one at West Town Mall.
Okay.
To make it to accommodate more cars, probably for you.
Right.
Probably for people like you who are clogging up the traffic.
That's right, ordering the chicken strips. Apparently, that's not the thing to order there.
What do people get?
I asked because, I ended up standing in the store waiting for it.
Yeah.
Because I was waiting, I didn't want them to have to come out to the car, and we're sort of in a hurry. We're trying to drive back to Knoxville. And so I was like, "So what is ready right now?" Because you have like 10 to 12 people coming out of this drive-through line that were behind us that now have their food before we do.
Yeah.
And chicken nuggets and the sandwiches, they have prepared.
Oh, see, I thought, wait, there's a difference between chicken nuggets and
chicken strips. Yeah, I guess so.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's insider tip. If you're in a hurry, don't order chicken strips.
Are they delicious, though?
They are delicious.
Well, then you should order
them.
them.
And they came out piping hot, so that was kind of great.
Okay, all right.
Made to order.
Well, one more restaurant thing while we're on the topic of restaurants. I told you that the family's coming. It's Jerry's sister, who's well known at her local Starbucks. And I'm planning this weekend itinerary. Well, Jerry made plans for us to go to a restaurant that is in their guidebook. They have a guidebook of the United States.
Okay, nice.
So every state, it mentions a few things. And for Tennessee, they have, East Tennessee, West Tennessee, Middle Tennessee. Mm-hmm. So you go to East Tennessee, and it basically says Great Smoky Mountains National Park and Dollywood, and it mentions this one fancy restaurant in downtown Knoxville.
Okay.
Right? Now, we have multiple fancy restaurants in downtown Knoxville.
Yeah.
But this one...
Can I guess which one?
Sure.
J.C. Holloway?
Yeah. And it could have been Amelia, it could have been...
Yeah.
Because these chefs from Blackberry Farm used to go off to the big city, New York and Chicago, and open fancy restaurants and serve Benton's bacon, and people would get excited. Well, now, these next generation of chefs are saying, well, I don't have to go that far. So they're opening restaurants in East Tennessee, and they're fantastic. So you have to make a reservation. Have you ever been?
I have. I've been a couple times.
What should I get? I've never been.
There's a lot of really good stuff.
Because I was looking for the cheapest thing, which was chicken strips. So I was probably going to get that.
If there's
no, it's
like
actually chicken, not chicken strips.
There's like a roast or some that actually is big enough for multiple people.
Oh.
That comes with carrots and potatoes.
That's
and,
interesting.
And greens.
Well, they change the menu every week. because of what's fresh.
Gotcha.
So I noticed for this week, it's going to be 2 weeks before we go, so who knows what's going to be on the menu. But for the current week, they have a chicken dish for $30, and then the beef dish is like $70 or something like that. The pork dish and the fish, the trout's like 40-something bucks.
Right.
So it's going to be expensive. So I was thinking get the cheapest thing. But when you make the reservations, you have to give them a credit card.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, did you just walk in, get a walk-in?
No, I probably didn't make the reservation. James probably did.
So they have this website called Resy.
Yes.
And you go to Resy and you have to put down a credit card in order to make the reservation, because if you don't show up, they charge you, I've read, $25.
Oh, wow.
So I told my wife, I said, be careful, it's going to be $25. Well, she makes the reservation, uses her credit card, gets the confirmation email from Resy and says, you have up until a certain day and a certain time to cancel at no charge. But if you miss the deadline, your credit card will be charged $100.
Okay, it's gone up.
No, it's $25 per person.
Oh, wow.
I misread it. I went back and
That's
can it be right?
expensive.
Yes.
Wow.
So you don't miss it. Don't be late.
Well, can you just call and make a reservation instead? Would then it be free?
I am not positive, because some of these restaurants they don't even publish their phone numbers anymore.
That's crazy.
Well, this other place we went to, it's just a pizza joint, but there's no phone number available for it. You can check wait times on Google Maps and all these other high-tech ways of doing it.
Right.
But you can't actually call the place.
To make it. That's interesting. Well, you could also, one little tip is just order a bunch of little appetizers.
Yeah.
Because they have sliders and things like that, I think, on the...
Oh, the small plates. They had small plates, and then they had a salad course. You can pay $175 a person and have Chef Joseph, whatever his name is, Joseph Len, you sit at the counter and he makes the meal in front of you.
Oh, well, very fancy. 6
courses.
Yeah.
I don't think we're doing that.
Yeah. That would be a lot.
That requires like a 2-month in advance reservation. Well, if you do have money to throw around, why not spend it on merchandise from the Frank and Friends show?
That's right. At frankandfriendshow.com/store, where you can find all these great items like these fancy mugs.
I was thinking of bringing the sign. Well, that's another story. I'll tell you another time. I had another possible MC gig. I'm trying to figure out a way to maximize it for publicity. So I'm thinking I could bring the towel or bring the sign and hang it up at the event, right?
Yeah.
Go, look, because this is the thing.
This is still what I really need. I still don't have one, and I don't know why.
Well, when's your birthday?
I should have taken this to Cancun.
I should have. Yeah, you could. The pictures, Kathryn. You wrapped in a towel in the ocean. I would have gotten a few clicks.
We failed.
You would become an Instagram influencer right away.
We might already have all those subscribers.
Who knows?
Who knows? Oh, well.
That would have been great. Well,
next time.
You can also binge on audio entertainment when you go to audibletrial.com/Frank and Friends show and get yourself a free 30-day premium membership to try all of the bells and whistles of Audible. Listen to it on your Amazon Alexa, on your phone app, on all the things, and it will save your place. Plus, premium members get a credit every month for an MP3 download, whether you should download and keep that on your device. So even when you eventually, drop dead and stop becoming an Audible member, your heirs would have these MP3s for you to deal with.
That's fabulous.
That's one way to look at it.
Make sure you put it in your will, then.
Or should you at any time cancel yourself, you still get to keep those MP3s, including the one that you get during your free 30-day trial. So you sign up, and then it just stays, and you keep getting those credits until you eventually decide. But I think you're going to love it. They think you're going to love it because there's always new books coming out, always new audiobooks. In fact, a couple of my friends now are getting into the audiobook narration biz.
Oh, nice.
Like my friend Amanda Marr. Do you remember?
I do.
Did we get to the Sevierville Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah.
Well, she now has Amanda Marr voiceovers.
Nice.
As a side hustle.
That's awesome.
She's got a lovely voice. And she's reading books on Audible.
That's great.
I know, right?
That's awesome.
Anyway, so audibletrial.com/Frank and Friends show. Help us get to those subscribers. And if you're still watching, Jody from Crippled Beagle Publishing, thank you. I noticed we went up 1.
Nice.
I went to a fancy wedding over the weekend. I'll have to tell you about that another time. And I thought, I got these 2 people said, I saw them hit the button that they were subscribing, but it didn't.
It didn't connect.
I mean, I don't know. Either that or other people can't dropped off, because it happens all the time. You gain 2, you lose 1. You gain 2, you lose 1. So eventually, that's why it's such a slow crawl.
The exact same way I would crawl up a mountain.
Trying to get to 1,000. All right. Well, thank you, Kathryn.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Oh, sure. Good luck. Toy, toy, toy in the cave. That's why we said that at the beginning, because in case you're not watching anymore. Stalactites, sopranos, and stilettos. Or 4 stilettos. 6 feet, 4 stilettos. 6 feet enter, 4 stilettos leave. It's a smackdown. In historic Cherokee Caverns. Tickets at marblecityopera.com/tickets. I've been plugging it on my radio show every day, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's my idea. Why not?
Yeah.
I want it to sell out like last year.
That's why you have that logo on our emails.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is the Frank and Friends Show. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
And we'll talk to you again next time.